Hello again, Gills fans. Welcome back to the latest episode of Gills in the Blood TV. It is weekly review time and then a look ahead to the weekend fixture, which this week sees us travel to the Pirelli Stadium to take on newly safe from relegation Burton Albion, who've had an unbelievable turnaround under Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank since mid-January. But we'll get onto that very shortly. Obviously, no midweek game for us this week. We do only have 2 fixtures left in this 2021 Sky Bet League One campaign. But there was a lot of games Tuesday night. Plenty of teams had their games in hand. And unfortunately, from a Gills perspective, any small lingering hopes of the playoffs were pretty much dashed. We're now 6 points outside of 6th place with only 2 games to play, and we need a massive swing in terms of goal difference as well and winning both of our games. So we can approach the last 2 now, I think, with a little bit of freedom and see how high it takes us, because the playoffs are gone. In truth, they were probably gone a couple of Saturdays ago away at Oxford. We gave ourselves a little bit of hope again, didn't we, going to Peterborough and winning, and then frustratingly let another 2-goal lead slip against Northampton last Saturday. But like I say, no midweek fixture for us to review, but the results essentially mean that the playoff dream is over. So we'll get straight into things. We travel, like I say, on Saturday afternoon to the Pirelli Stadium to take on this team. Before I get into my part of the video where I do the comparative form, key men, that type of thing, quite frankly, we have the most in-depth analytical opposition view piece that I've ever been sent on the channel, courtesy of Rob. You can find him at Rob_BAFC, and he runs the Burton Albion analysis Twitter page. So go and give him a follow if you're not. Quite frankly, superb content coming up. I'm not going to explain it. I'm just going to let it run now. So here comes Rob with everything you need to know regarding Saturday's opponents.
To Burton Albion ahead of our game against yourselves on Saturday. So first things first, we are 16th in the League One table. Anyone who's followed our season and the story behind it will know that's a pretty remarkable achievement. At Christmas, we were dead and buried until we had the change of management with Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and Dino Marmria coming in. Since then, we've caught up to the pack ahead of us, overtaken them, and now moved away from the relegation zone. And we're actually mathematically safe now. So we'll be playing League One football again next season. You'll probably remember that the first game that Jimmy and Dino took was the 1-0 win over yourselves away from home. We do play a high-pressing 4-2-3-1 formation. That will probably stay the same for Saturday. We haven't changed too much from that recently. But the players that actually play, that might be a little bit fluid. Against Fleetwood on Tuesday, we did play a few of the squad players to give them the shot before the end of the season goes, and it was an excellent 5-2 win, so we might see a little bit more of that. There's a little bit of needle between our fans and your manager, Steve Evans. He referred to Burton as a pub team many years ago while managing Boston United. That hasn't been forgotten by the fan base. Our home form can be a bit patchy, as you can see from the middle graphic at the top. Away form, we're certainly a much more solid team, much more able to stay in games for longer and grind teams down. At home, we don't quite have the same bite in our play. But as I say, we're coming off the back of an excellent result, and having played a game on Tuesday with no pressure for the first time in 9 months, I'm sure it'll be a different kettle of fish this time. 3 players for you to look out for. Number 1 for me would be Tom Hamer. He's mainly played at left back for us this season, although he's a right back and centre half. He has been playing out of position for there. He was a January acquisition from Oldham Athletic, but for me has been our best signing. He has tireless energy. He pops up in goal scoring opportunities because he plays quite narrow. When he does go forward, he pops up on the edge of the box in decent shooting opportunities regularly. And he has a massive throw, which will ask some questions of your defence, I'm sure. Second would be Terry Taylor, a 19-year-old signing from Wolves. He's had to be a bit patient for his opportunities, but when he has come into the team and he has sort of played a few more regular minutes recently, he has sort of been like the man who dictates the tempo in the centre of midfield for us. He has a great range of passing and has a great reading of the game too, and he'll be the one that drops in between the centre halves to get us moving in distribution. And the final player I'll pick out is Joe Powell. He's been with us all through the season, but has had sort of limited opportunities while we were fighting against the relegation, as his style of play didn't really fit in with exactly what Dino and Jimmy were trying to do. But he's a hugely talented player, and I'm sure if anyone's been watching Quest recently, you've seen his last 3 goals: the one against Portsmouth, the free kick against Wigan, and the free kick against Fleetwood. All classic goals, but there's a lot more to his game than that. He's a fantastic passer of the ball, and I think your style of sort of defending deep and standing off would be something that would play into his hands, and it'll be interesting to see how you deal with him on Saturday. So what do we know about you? So you have a recent away trend of playing a variant of 4-4-2 or 4-1-4-1. You have a lot of talent offensively with players such as Oliver Verdane, if I've said that correctly, and Jordan Graham. I'm a massive fan of Jordan Graham. I think he's an excellent footballer. You're middle of the road for shots taken per 90, but have the second best XG per shot in the league, which suggests you have an ability to optimise attacking opportunities. That's something we'll have to watch out for. Lowest average possession in the league and lowest number of passes per 90 in the league. And this suggests a comfort in their system and the style of play. So you're not expecting to have a lot of the ball. You're not expecting to play a lot of football on the ball. It's obviously a process that's working for you, and it shows a comfort in that style. You've got a pass per defensive action rating of 11.89, which is the 20th lowest in the league. And this suggests you're happy to sort of take your defensive shape, defend deep, and force opponents to play through you rather than pressing higher up the pitch. Now, so we're going to be sort of forced to play through you. This isn't something that's a huge strength of ours. It'll be interesting to see how we actually approach that. You've also had the second highest amount of shots conceded per 90 in the league, and this goes hand in hand with the above. If you are going to sit a bit deeper defensively, and if you are going to encourage that sort of style, then you are going to concede more shots on goal, but they're going to come from less optimal positions. A score prediction, I'm going to say it's going to be quite an open game, a lot of end-to-end action, no pressure on ourselves playing at home. You're obviously good offensively, and I'm going to say it's going to be a 3-2 win.
Told you it was good, didn't I? Voiceovers, graphics, pictures, heat maps, the lot. Basically a football scout report. Absolutely superb some stuff from Rob. So greatly appreciate you taking the time to send that over to me, mate. At short notice as well. So thank you very much. Right. Puts me to shame, doesn't he? Comparative form of the two sides. Looking at the last 6. Burton, win, win, draw, loss, draw, win. So 11 points from the last half dozen games. Gills in the same time frame. Win, loss, draw, loss, win, draw. So it's a pair of each of the 3 results that we can get, giving us 8 points from the last half a dozen. At home, Burton a little bit more patchy. Loss, loss, win, draw, loss, win. So 2 wins, a solitary draw and 3 defeats in their last 6 at home. So that gives them 7 points. Gills on the road have been all right. There's 3 wins, 2 defeats and a draw, giving us 10 points over the same period of time. Makes for an intriguing fixture. Burton only 1 win in 4, but only 1 loss in 8. Only 1 clean sheet in 7 though. So is that something that we can target with our attacking threats that will be on the pitch? We've only won once in 5, but on the flip side, we've only lost twice in the last 10. So does that point to a draw? Both teams not winning a lot, but not losing a lot in recent weeks. In terms of key players, from my point of view that I picked out before listening to Rob's unbelievably good piece, Kane Hemmings, 15 in the league, is the obvious one. Proved a really good signing for them. Done really well in what was a really struggling side at the start of the season. He's continued to flourish under Jimmy Floyd, Hasselbank and Dino Marmia. Lucas Aikins continues to have an impact on the side despite being in his mid-30s now. He's up to 9 goals in League One. Plays absolutely anywhere for you. I know there's a bit of a Twitter thing going ahead that wants him to sign a contract so that people can go and give him a send-off live. We had Ed Walker on the Third Tier podcast Monday night and he was talking about it. Quite frankly, said he wants Aikins to sign another deal just so they can give him a proper send-off inside the stadium next season. In terms of experience, they've got plenty in John Brayford and Michael Bostwick. Bostwick particularly, is one player that I've always admired in League One. Proper old school defender, can play midfield, I think, as well, or certainly did earlier in his career. Maybe not now so much, but they've got a lot of know-how between them and certainly plenty of leadership skills as well. And we know Sean Clare very well from his short spell on loan with us in the first half of 2017-18. Played right back or in midfield for us. Loads of energy, gets around the pitch really well, works really hard and does know where the back of the net is. So it'd be interesting to see Sean Clare and how he's developed over the last couple of seasons. And we can't go on to talking about the Gills before we mention Hasselbank and Marmia again. Unbelievable turnaround since they've come in, like I've already mentioned. They were down and out when Jake Buxton was sacked at the turn of the year. They've won 13 games out of 22 since in the league. Unbelievable. Excellent return in terms of points. Excellent change in terms of conceding loads to not conceding hardly at all. And Tuesday night they won 5-2, didn't they, against Fleetwood, in a game that Ed said Fleetwood were definitely going to win when we spoke to him on the third tier. So seems that there was a little bit of jinx or a hoodoo against Fleetwood, and that was certainly put to bed. Massive victory, absolute thriller. One of many in the league on Tuesday night, to be fair, as well. So it's going to be a tough game. We know we're going to have to go up there and work hard, but will there be a slight end of season feel to it with the fact that Burton are safe mathematically? Gills can't get in the top six now. I know Steve Evans says he wants to finish as high as possible, but I have to agree with Rob. I think it's going to be a pretty open game, and I'll get onto my score prediction shortly. But in terms of our team news, I don't think there was any injury problems to come out of Saturday's draw with Northampton Town. John Akindi, I would suspect, has recovered from illness. I know it was nothing to do with COVID. But yeah, I'd make one change going away. I'd take Dominic Samuel out this week. And I thought he was decent, to be fair. First start for a few months in the Northampton game. Used the ball really well when he had it. Was unlucky not to win it for us in the last couple of minutes when his curling effort from the edge of the box slapped against the post. But I would take him out and bring Jordan Graham back in. He also was suffering last week and was only fit for the bench. So my team in forward would be Jack Bonham in goal, Ryan Jackson, Jack Tucker, Robbie Cundy and Connor Ogilvie in a back four, Carl Dempsey and Stuart O'Keefe shielding that back four, a three in front of Jordan Graham, Oliver Lee and Alex McDonald, and the top scorer for Dane Oliver up top. My bench, if everyone is fit and available, would be Sasha Bastien, Tommy O'Connor, Robbie McKenzie, Matty Willock, Tyreek Johnson, John Akindi and Dominic Samuel. But I'm not sure what's going on with Willock, whether he's injured again or just not fancied. It could be that Henry Woods or Gerald Sitole are on the bench instead. Like I've said, I agree with Rob in terms of it being an open game. I think it might have a very end of season feel to it. I remember we going up there to Burton last day of the Championship League 2 winning season in 2012-13 and lost 3-2 playing all the kids. I think it might have a similar feel, obviously not quite the same party atmosphere from our point of view, but I'm going to go for an entertaining 2-2 draw, and I'm going to back for Dane Oliver and Carl Dempsey to score the Gills goals. Right, that is enough from me today. Thanks as always for watching and listening. Thanks again to Rob for the brilliant video. Really do appreciate that. Like I say, at short notice. Don't forget to continue checking out, following and subscribing the third tier. Keep downloading that Fan Hub app. And we'll be back Saturday, I think, for a match day live. But until next time, up the Gills.